Okay, so today I'm just going to show you how to create a simple program using the Flex Pendant. So what I'm going to use is the actual virtual Flex Pendant, but if you're using a real one connected to a controller, it'll work in exactly the same way. So as you can see, when you click it, it shows up the same boot screen as if the controller itself was starting up. So you can see that I've already reset rapid on it, so I'm just going to acknowledge that. Okay, so this is the main menu that you'll see. So there's a couple of things to note. So if you hit this drop down, you get a list of menu options. I'm not going to go through many of them today. The only one that I'll probably really use is the program editor, but there's a load of options there that you can use, so I'll go through them in another tutorial. And up here then we can see the state of our motors and whether we're in automatic or manual mode. So at the minute we're in auto mode. So what that means is, if I just move it so you can see, it means that we just can't move the robot from our pendant at this minute. So what I need to do is change that to manual mode. So to do that, I'll just go on to the control panel and click on manual. And if you check my pendant, you can see it's set to manual mode here. So that's what we want, so I can close that. And now the guard stop is on, so to turn on the motors, we just hit enable. Okay, and if we want to move this robot, so in real life you'll be holding, there's a button at the back of it, but in this we just hit hold to run, and now we can use the joystick and we can move the robot. Okay, so to create the actual program itself, if we just hit the drop down menu and we go to program editor, so it'll tell us that no program exists, so we'll just create a new one. So you can see it gave us our task name. So our task name is T Robot 1, and the program name is new program. So you can name them as you wish. Just open that. Okay, so this SMT here stands for statement. So anyway, anytime you see this, you need to add an instruction in order to do anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a separate procedure. So if you go up here to routines, we'll go to file and new routine, and that's called routine 1. You can call it what you like, and you just need to make sure that the type is a procedure. It's not a function or a trap, they're quite different, so we'll just use procedure for now. Click OK. If we click back, you can see that the procedure has now been placed into our code. So what I'll do is I'll call that from our main. So if you just highlight SMT with the add instruction in the bottom left and look for procedure call. So it's usually in our common, but if you flick through, you'll find it under program flow as well. So I'm going to call routine 1 and click OK. So now our main code will call routine 1. That's perfect. So I'm just going to move this around. So I'll set that as the home position. So if, again, in the add instruction, if you go back to the common, I'm going to go to move J, and you can see that this has given us some instructions here. So this stores all of the orientation and the configuration and the actual position of this robot as it is. So we can give that a name. So if we double click on the actual star itself, and you can click on new, and you can give it a name. So I'm just going to call it home. I'm going to leave it as a global. You can set it to local if you want, so it's a global variable, and the storage type is going to be a constant again. I don't need this to change, I want it to go into this position all the time, so I click OK. You can see that it's updated the name for us there. Now we can update any of these as well, so I'm going to change this to fine. And click OK. And you can see there's our first point. So I'm just going to move the robot to here. And we'll do the same again, so add instruction, go to move J, and it'll ask us where we want to put the instructions. So we want it below the line. Again, that's giving us home 10. You can change it if you want. There's no really need to change it now. It's only a tutorial. but you can see it's kept the setting, so it's fine, and the velocity is the same, so that's perfect. So that's all I'll do. I think you'll get the idea. You can add more. You can obviously place it in the point that you want. So if you were to draw around this, you just place it down and just find all the edges. I'm not going to do that, it'll take too long. So what I'll do is I'll try and run this now. So if I try and run it now, it should give me an error, which it does. So it says at least one task is missing a program pointer. So what that means is this has nowhere, it's not recognized where to start yet. So what we'll do is we'll go to debug and we'll put it to program pointer to main. Now you can see this little arrow here that suggests that we've now got our program pointer set to main. So now if I click on run, you can see that our robot will now run. This is set to continuous mode as well, so it's going to keep going, but you can set that to manual, and that's it. So it's quite straightforward. Anything that you can do in the rapid interface, you can do on this, and it gives you control that you can actually work on it on the robot. You can edit a program and make small changes if needs be. So that's it for today. If you have any questions, just drop me a comment. Thanks.